Hello guys and welcome to Bullet Gaming. Today I'm going to take some time and talk about Battlefield Hardline. It's not a big secret that a lot of the actual Battlefield community is not really hyped for this upcoming title, and many consider this as a failure for the Battlefield series. When BF4 was launched back in 2013, it was a real nightmare, and only with the last big update in December the game became enjoyable. Still, not good enough for competitive tournaments, but a fun game to play casually. For who can remember, back in 2011, Battlefield 3 had the same progression until 1 year later it matured in the game we grew to love. Now with Hardline the story is most likely to repeat itself, and this is what made pre-orders drop so much that EA decided to postpone the launch of the game. Another problem with Hardline is that probably it looks a bit too familiar, and even I have to admit it looks much more like BF4 DLC than a real standalone game, with many recycled animation, textures, HUDs and concept from previous Battlefield titles. Even the entire Cops and Robbers theme doesn't stand as an excuse for a game that is just a stripped-down version of Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 is in fact a very simple game. In Team Deathmatch you kill everyone that moves, in Domination you do the same but sit on a flag, on Conquest you do the previous things but on a bigger map with vehicles. And there you have it, a game that never gets old. Hardline doesn't introduce anything new and instead removes everything which stands at the core of the Battlefield series. I'm talking about vehicles. There is no point on playing Battlefield for its infantry combat alone, since there are games that cover that sector much better and with more depth. Cars, bikes and a chopper is everything that will be available in Hardline. Too bad that vehicles will receive damage from any primary weapon, transforming them in death traps. Considering the amount of players involved, you can already figure out how hard it would be to replicate any of the situation displayed in the gameplays. It takes in fact just 2 players and a handful of seconds to demolish any unarmored vehicle in line of sight. The tendency for players to avoid using vehicles is something real and will most probably happen since it's not something new in games. In fact, PlanetSide, which makes heavy use of vehicular warfare, had the same concept, with players being able to damage non-armored vehicle with any weapons. No need to say that everyone stopped using them until they finally patched the game. Even if they fix it in Hardline, cars, bikes are meant only for transport and don't present any learning curve, reducing the game replayability even more. I don't need to remind you about what happened to Medal of Honor Warfighter or Titanfall. They were both strong games, but they missed that depth and alternatives to gameplay. In conclusion, Hardline doesn't have, in my opinion, what it takes to survive in today's FPS reality. So don't be fooled by commercials, trailers and sponsorized YouTubers that will jump on the hype train just to permanently abandon the game 1 month later. Battlefield has always been easy to learn but impossible to master, with a whole list variety, and this is the reason for its replayability, the reason why you can play it for 1000 hours and still look forward to it. So that was it for this video guys. If you liked it, please rate, leave a comment or subscribe, let me know down in the comment section what is your personal opinion on Hardline, and until next time, see you on the battlefield.